live. In November, Altice USA announced that it was rebranding to Optimum Communications, its current name, and changing its ticker symbol to OPTU. Well, the NYSE-listed company said the move was made to, quote, reflect its commitment to a unified brand identity centered around Optimum, end quote. NYSE content creator Ashley Mastronardi sat down with Optimum chairman and CEO Dennis Matthew to learn more about the transformation. Let's take a look.
Well, we're super excited now to be Optimum Communications, trading under the OPTU ticker symbol. But it's more than just that. One brand, one mission, one purpose as we strive to become the connectivity provider of choice in every community that we've served. And we started by transforming our culture so that our people feel recognized. They feel like they have a voice. We focus on our customers delivering great quality and great value. And so we've started from the inside out to make sure that we are operating at a completely different gear as we move forward.
How did you work to transform your company culture?
Well, first it started with a mission and vision. Like, why do we exist? And it's deeply personal for me to make maximum positive impact for our teammates, for our customers, for our communities and our shareholders. And that started because someone was kind and generous to my own father and helped him get an education which transformed his life and my life and the lives of my children. And it really instilled in me from early on that that is what this is all about, is making positive impact. And so when I came to Optimum, that became part of our ethos and part of our culture. And when we do that right and we do that first, we will ultimately get back to long-term growth.
And you say you also had customers in mind when you went through this rebrand. How will they be impacted?
Well, the first thing we focused on, and we continue to focus on relentlessly, is quality and value. And so we got to work. We rolled up our sleeves and said, our customers deserve the best network, the best products, the best service. And so that's the transformation we've been on. We've had to stabilize many parts of the company, and now we are winning awards for the quality, and we're continuing to evolve our pricing and our packaging to make sure we provide great value to our customers. But this is a mindset shift that we put the customers at the center of everything that we're doing.
And what does that look like in practice, putting the customers in the center?
Well, as we're making decisions, operational decisions, financial decisions, the first thing we have to ask ourselves is, how does this impact the customer? And how does it ladder up to our values of providing great quality and great value? And so when we make investments in the network, when we continue to evolve our products, when we launch products and look at the customer journey, when we talk about service and how do we deliver that in the right way, whether it's even simple things around handle time and speed of answer, and how do we make sure we get it right the first time, we are making decisions to put the customer at the center so that they get the value and the quality that they deserve.
All right. And why did you decide to rebrand to Optimum, and why now?
You know, for the last several years, it's been all about stabilizing the company, the network, the product, the services. And it's incredible to see the progress that we made. But now we're gaining some momentum, some real momentum, going from reactive to proactive. And we're going to go on the offensive. And we've done a lot of work to really make sure that we have one brand, one mission, one purpose as we move forward. And so as we go into this next phase of going on the offensive, we wanted to bring this brand together and really lean into the Optimum name, because we are operating as one Optimum. We've broken down all the silos and we're working as one team to solve the most challenging problems ahead of us.
And I understand the company has gone through a multi-year journey in transforming. Can you take me through that journey?
Yeah. And it really started with the culture. You know, when I joined the company, I traveled around the country from state to state, visiting with our frontline teammates. And I have to tell you, it was heartbreaking to me. They were discouraged, disappointed. They wanted to do what's right, but they weren't able to do it because the systems and the processes and the infrastructure wasn't enabling them to be at their best. And so we took notes, we wrote action items after action items, and we started knocking these problems down, stabilizing the network, stabilizing the tools that they were using to serve our customers, stabilizing the products, but then also operating with discipline, financial discipline, operational discipline. And that's the journey that we've been on. And now we're getting to a point where we can go on the offensive and really start to drive our transformation journey to the next gear.
And what sets Optimum apart from its competitors?
Well, this is a very competitive landscape. We've got more competition than ever, and we are operating at a hyper-local level. We are operating town by town, state by state to do what's right for our customers. We are driving a culture of accountability, ownership, and making sure, as I mentioned before, that we're putting the customer at the center. And so we have a mindset now that we will do whatever it takes to make it right for our customers. Make it right in terms of quality, make it right in terms of value, make it right in terms of driving transformation and ensuring that we are innovating day in and day out. We're a company where we look at how did we do yesterday? How did we do last week? How do we learn from that? And how do we infuse that into the way we operate and into the way we engage with our customers? Because they want great quality, great value, and we have the ability to do that at the highest level in every town we operate.
All right, thanks again to Optimum Chairman and CEO Dennis Matthew, and of course, our Ashley Mastronardi for that interview. Well, stay with us because up